What's up, guys, man? It's your boy Raymir back with another video, man. And as y'all boys can see, we have the NBA 2K27 news, bro. This is stuff that we've been waiting for, bro. We've been waiting for fucking weeks for this, and we finally got it, bro. We finally got the NBA 2K27 news. So if you guys did miss the stream, I'm gonna be going over almost everything that they went through in the stream. Obviously, I want to dial it down, and we're gonna get into the things that are the most important. But one thing that I want to say, y'all, we can now use female players in NBA 2K27. Now, I know people have been asking for this for years, and he's like, yo, why can't we use female players? We see NBA Live do it, and I'm just like, why can't we do it? We can now use female characters in NBA 2K27. Like, about time, bro. And they showed it. It looked nice, bro. But the only thing about it is, when you make your first build, it will ask you if you want to make a female or a male character. If you make a female character, every build after that is going to be a female. If you make a male character, everything after that is going to be a male character. So make sure you choose wisely. I'm choosing a female character this year because why not? You know what I'm saying? So that's that. Also, you got to give 2K their flowers. They have really been, going in the right direction after 26. 2K26, you can see they started going in the right direction. Dribbling started to come back. More variety started to come back. Obviously, cheaters ruining the game as usual. And, obviously we had the defense, which was the biggest problem, which led to the cheating. So the game had, if 2K26 had decent defense, then the cheating issue really wouldn't matter as much. But y'all boys know, obviously, it had cheating issues. But first things first, man, we're gonna get into this. So the dribbling. So 2K dribbling and the new dribble system that it have is that it's just like the older 2Ks. We have access to more animations. We have more access into what we want our player to do. We have more access to how we want our player to dribble, what dribble style we want to use. You know what I'm saying? So we have more access to this. They gave us more freedom. So basically, you can choose animations out of certain animation packs. So for example, if I choose Shea, I can use Shea crossover with Curry behind the back. You can use different animations out of those animation packs. So obviously, let's say that you go to Devin Booker step back. Devin Booker has like 3 different step backs. You can choose that one step back. Let's say you want to do a misdirection step back. You can actually unequip those other step backs and just equip the misdirection as your step back. So you have more freedom, more variety. You can actually customize your dribble animations. So that is something that, that's the most important to me because I am a dribbler. I always been called a dribble god community. And that is something that just, is really important, bro. Like, that's crazy. That's something that people been asking for. In 2K, I can tell that they're actually listening to their community and they're going into the right direction. Dribbling is probably going to be crazy this year, and I can't wait to see it, bro. That is something that really excited me other than the female my players. I can't wait to see that. Now, defense and cheaters. Now, I'm not going to lie. The defense looks crazy good in the game. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be the person to say, oh my gosh, 2K is back. Let's get to it. I'm not going to say that, bro. Obviously, I'm going to say the defense looks good as fuck. Like, it looks like they actually did they shit and the defense matters. There's different type of steals. You know what I'm saying? So steals are also effective in the game. Obviously, it's going to be rating based, of course, but you can get stealing animations, bump animations. They can't dribble through your body anymore like that. You actually get physical and the defense is actually working. People can't shoot in your face anymore. The biggest problem was that, the cheaters that was cheating, they wasn't good at the game. Half of them was boxed, but the defense was just so bad. You know what I'm saying? It was just so bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not getting rewarded for playing good defense because you're not even getting a contest. People are literally greening 50% covered, 60% coverage. Like, that shouldn't even be a thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing that, I love that they're fixing the defense. The defense looks great. And I can't wait to see, how that goes. So if you guys have anything or any questions or anything like that, or feedback about defense, comment down below, or anything else I talked about. So the next thing that I want to get into is obviously rhythm shooting. Now you're probably like, what? Rhythm shooting? What is okay? So that name is important. The fact that it's not called tempo and it's called rhythm shooting means a lot. It's because you have to time the rhythm and the tempo to make the shot, which obviously makes a skill gap, and it obviously, makes everything fair. Because last year it wasn't fair. People just could time the tempo and green. People that shoot with button or shoot with meter, they have to actually time both. So it just wasn't fair. You know what I'm saying? So with the rhythm shooting, you know what I'm saying, it changed the timing plus tempo. Changes the timing plus tempo. So you can't just abuse one part of the mechanic. It makes rhythm shooting more balanced, but rhythm shooters should still be rewarded and creates a bigger skill gap. So basically, with that being said, is this is obviously going to change a lot of things, and it's going to really show the skill gap. So it's going to show the differences. It's going to show who's better. It's going to show who is actually good at the game. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people was just cheating, or there was just, this tempo shit. You just had the time at tempo. It just didn't take no skill. And the person that was using tempo, it doesn't take any skill. I'm not gonna lie, at all. So, one thing else I want to get about is mycareer. So mycareer is obviously online now. MyCareer co-op. They did show us the MyCareer co-op. They did show us how it worked. Um, you can invite someone to play MyCareer with you, and y'all can still earn VC rewards and stuff like that. You can play against them, or they can play with you. That is something that I found really cool. You know what I'm saying? The ability to experience, playing online MyCareer. A lot of people have been talking about this really since 2K17. They're like, oh, well, what if MyCareer was online? I remember people saying that back then. And it's crazy that they actually did it now, just like the female my players. So this is actually really important. Another thing we're gonna talk about is mycareer errors. So you might know what this is. If you do, you probably wasn't in the stream, but mycareer errors is that you can play mycareer in different eras of basketball. So it's the ability to experience different NBA eras, different generations of NBA basketball. Gives mycareer more replay value. Great for creators like Stacks and other mycareers who are heavily focused on mycareer and stuff like that, and other mycareer channels that focus on that in content wise. So it's more possibilities for series and storylines. It keeps mycareer from getting boring after finishing the main story. So a lot of people, I like how they're adding different things in different categories for other players. I like how they're giving everyone something to enjoy. A lot of people like mycareer. A lot of people love my team. A lot of people love arts. A lot of people love theater. A lot of people love rap. You know what I'm saying? So I like how they're just diversing it up. They're chopping it up and they're giving everybody, everything so everybody can have fun. So I love how they're doing that. I love how Mike Wayne listens to the community. I love this, man. I really do. Rotating rec courts. Now this is something that I really been trying to push out, that's really cool. Obviously, just how NBA Live had different types of courts that you can play on, rotating courts and stuff like that and so on. So with the rotating rec courts, there's different environments and courts. So I know there's an outside court, high school, there's I think it's like a practice facility court, and it's another court. I forgot what it was, but I know it's an inside court though. So the outside court is actually the main one that caught my attention. One of the courts are also seasonal, so they go with the season. So if it's Christmas, it'd be Christmas and stuff like that. So I found that really cool. Mike Wayne sounded really excited telling us this specific part, because he said it's something that he was looking forward to playing too. So I can't wait to see how that goes. So obviously it's gonna be different environments and courts: high school gym, outdoor gym, private gym, there's an arena, and a seasonal environment. There's random rotating environments as well. It makes rec less repetitive. NBA Live had changed matchmaking environments, so it gives players something different to look at. This really matters. A lot of people just don't want to play in the same thing every time. Then the games get boring, gets repetitive, and they don't want to play anymore. So this is really important. You know what I'm saying? It sounds small, but when you play rec for hours, seeing different courts, it actually matters, bro. It shows that the game does matter. The littlest things can mean the most, bro. So that's something that's really important. Now here we go, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Now this is probably one of the most toughest things, bro. Especially if you are really into the crew, the 2K crews and stuff like that, there's something called the crew HQ. Now, before we get into the crew HQ, before we get into any of this, bro, I want to say that this idea is really cool. It's really crazy. I'm not gonna lie. So let's talk about it. Basically, your crews get their own mini basketball facility. And when I say basketball facility, it's kind of like a mini park. You can hop on the dots. There's twos, ones, threes, and fours. So basically, you can hop on the dots and play each other. You can do 1v1s in there. I think that's really going to replace the my court. There's still the my court, but I really think people are going to be in here more than the my court. So yeah, you can do 1v1, 2v2, 3v3s, and 5v5s. Private games, crew competitive battles, so you can play other crews. So like people that have crew battles, they can actually play other crews in there, which is really important. I really think that really gonna make a difference and make the community come up with other things. Crew battles, they've been doing it in 2K26. Now it's really gonna get bigger in 2K27 with the crew HQ. The crew competition slash battles, it's kind of like pro am. It's kind of similar how pro am is, but it's with your crew. So it's gonna be a built-in arena to hang out with your crew. That's really cool. It's perfect for dribble crews, XIX, AOI, etc. Crews that don't always have to take over random park courts. So let's say that they want to do a crew battle, right? They don't have to go to park and do that. They can do that in the crew HQ. That's really helpful. It's really important. And it's open opportunities for tournaments and content. So that's really cool. This could be one of them features where the community takes it way further than 2K even expected. And that's like really important. 2K can take this and put this out there, and us as a community, we can turn it to something that they never thought it could be. So this is actually really important. This is crazy. I love this, man. 2K is getting its identity back. The main point is to bring each other together. So the main point is to bring each other together, bring everything together. 2K lost some of its identity during the next gen era. And a lot of people, I'm not gonna be a bandwagon and say, 2K is good, 2K is this, 2K that. I'm obviously gonna say the pros and the cons. 2K lost its identity, especially when next gen came. Next gen, they kind of got more into this futuristic thing, and they got more into these robot suits and skeletons. It's cool, but it's not 2K, man. Sometimes doing too much can ruin a game. So I like how they toned it down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So people want basketball plus a community plus competition. So this is what people want, man. 2K27 seems more focused on that. There's more customization. There's more play styles. There's more competitive features. There's more content for casual slash my career players as well. And it feels like they're actually listening. I never felt this excited for 2K, man. Like, this is crazy. I never felt this excited. So don't call 2K27 perfect yet. I'll just say something like, everything sounds good on paper, but we still actually have to get our hands on the game. And, that's when things will really, just go crazy. So the defense looks better. Cheating is being addressed. Rhythm shooting has more skill involved. Dribble slash customization is a huge W. Female my players, my career errors, rotating my courts, QHQ, more variety overall. There's also a casuals theater. So it's kind of like for new players, they can actually play matchmaking, the casuals, and it's actually they can play against people their skill level. So if they are brown plate, 80 overall, not good at the game, new at the game, 70 overall, they play against people within that skill range. So I love that actually, even though that kind of divides the 2K community a little bit, but obviously it's good for the casuals because half of the people that play 2K, majority of the people are casuals, and that's literally for all games. You know what I'm saying? So this is actually really important. They had a lot of my team news. I'm not really a my team fan. But they had a lot of changes to my team, which is really cool. You can actually take your cards and you can collect your cards to trade them in to get a better card. So that's really cool. It's really cool to see that, but I'm not really a my team fan. Never really liked my team. The first time I actually tried my team was like 2K15, I think. I think 2K15 or 2K16. I didn't like it. I never played it again. So I'm letting my team go, man. So, but yeah, man, that's really all the important information that I wanted to dive into, man. But if you guys are new, man, make sure you guys like subscribe, bro. There's content coming all year round, bro. Um, I'm gonna have crazy content dropping out with my boy Reality 2K, man. So if you guys know who Reality 2K is, man, make sure you go subscribe to him, bro. Go subscribe to my dog, man. Follow him on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch. You know what I'm saying? Videos gonna be going crazy this year, man. But love you guys, man. We out.